Nancy? Okay, we're back in session as the Board of Equalization. We'll go ahead and have the deputy clerk swear everyone in that is going to participate in a 1 p.m. hearing.
If you'll please stand and raise your right hand.
Anyone that is going to talk in the 1 o'clock hearing needs to stand and raise their hand.
Are you in the 1 o'clock hearing, sir?
No, I'm just here
Okay.
observing with the,
Okay.
not talking,
Just making sure.
Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. So under Idaho Code 63501, the Board of County Commissioners are required to convene as the Board of Equalization. We are here to determine market value under Idaho Code 63205, which states that all real, personal, and operating property subject to property taxation must be assessed annually at market value for assessment purposes as of 12:01 a.m. of the first day of January in the year in which such property taxes are levied. Furthermore, under Idaho Code 63502, the function of the Board of Equalization shall be confined strictly to assuring that the market value for assessment purposes of property has been found by the assessor, and to the functions provided for in Chapter 6, Title 63, Idaho Code relating to exemptions from taxation. The taxpayer shall have the burden of proof in seeking affirmative relief to establish that the determination of the assessor is erroneous. A preponderance of the evidence shall suffice to sustain the burden of proof. We are here to discuss the market value of the property, the condition, the state, or information that is relevant to this topic. This is fact and not opinion. We are not here to discuss taxes, past grievances, policy, personal income, or other issues. If you do not stick to the discussion as requested, your time will be reclaimed. The process will go as follows. The property owner will be given 3 minutes. This white light will come on when you start. The yellow light comes on with 1 minute left. When the red light goes off, you're hearing it or you're done. And then there will be questions through the board from the assessor's office. Then the assessor's office will be given 3 minutes. There will be questions through the board from the property owner. We'll have a discussion up here. The rules are to be kind, direct all questions or comments to the board. If your conduct is out of line, you will be warned. If your conduct continues to be out of line, you will be asked to leave or escorted from the premises by the marshals. Go ahead and state your name, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
Kirsten Kathleen Benedetti.
Okay? Oh,
Okay. I've just had some concerns looking at the property values and the estimates that have been given from last year to this year based on the assessor, which on mine from that I got this year, it's approximately about $125,000 increase in value from last year. It went from $172,490 to $298,146. I have not made any, drastic improvements on my home. The only thing I've done since I've owned the home is replace the roof. I did refinance last year. The appraisal that I was given through the refinance was $225,000. So even that being from $225,000 to almost $300,000 is almost a $75,000 increase in the value of my home, which again, the last update I did was my roof, and that was probably 4 to 5 years ago. So I'm just concerned on plus with the increase that was done last year, it went up, and I'm just wondering how I went from the value that the assessor got last year to what my appraisal was to almost $300,000. And so that's kind of what it is. And I submitted some things in there with the increase on my street with other neighbors. Some were between 40 and 50% increase, and mine was a 73% increase. One is a neighbor right next door to me. The other one was a neighbor across the street.
okay. Questions?
The only question I might have is on the appraisal. Was this done? Did a fee appraiser come out to your home? Was this table appraisal? How was this appraisal done?
Yes, he came out to my home. We had to appraise the home, do the refinance. He came to my home, took pictures, inside and out. It was a very thorough appraisal.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just one clarification. Do you remember the appraiser's name?
I don't. It's not on the paper. I did it through Mountain America. Brandy Sandrini was my
Yeah,
mortgage.
I saw that. I was just curious if you had the appraiser's name.
I don't. I don't know why it wouldn't be on here, but it was a guy that they use quite often, an older gentleman.
Okay. No, I'm good. That's all I need to know right now.
All right, your 3 minutes begin.
Okay. Subject property is a .2 acre parcel, and it does have 988 square feet on the main, 988 in the basement, with 494 square feet finish. It is built in 1978, and we're showing electric baseboard heating. And let's jump over to the comparables. All comparables were built in the 1970s. Comparable 1 coming in at 162, comparable 2 coming in at 139, and comparable 3 coming in at 189 per finished square feet. Subject property is coming in at 151 per finished square feet. Thank you.
Questions about what they just said?
Yeah, I don't understand what any of that was. I mean, I'm guessing you're basing, that's like a number based off the square footage, and that's like a dollar amount or value amount?
Yes, it's a number. What we do is we take cells, we subtract the land, we subtract any additional paving, shops, anything additional, and we come up with a square footage of about the same type of properties that are same grade, close to the same square footage, same year built, and we come up with approximately what the average or the median sell per square foot, and then we apply that to what we call our subject properties all throughout the county. And then we add back in the concrete and the shops and any additional improvements that there might be, and that's how we come up with our values. And it's all based on sales.
Commissioners?
So you don't have an appraisal, but you actually have your closing. Like, this is your actually closing doc. Now, whenever we get an appraisal, we time adjust it, because what happens in our market is what we see, and you can see it through the sales. The houses that sold January 1 last year, the houses that sold in December last year, there's a difference because of the market was doing an increase. Now you're going to see a difference of what's happened from December already to now. You're starting to see it bubble back, but we're responsible to look at what everything would be considering January 1. So you said that your value that you were thinking was $250. If you take the appraised value and you add 7 months, because they probably did the appraisal the month prior because it was 11 days, you had to have some time to close, we give you a value of $256,500.
That's where I was at.
Motion?
Mr. Chairman, on parcel number RPRPSTN 000600, I move that the assessed value be adjusted to $256,500 with the adjustment coming off of the improvements.
Friendly amendment on that,
Yes.
based on the appraised value included in the packet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we adjusted your property to $256,500. If you're not happy with that, or if the assessor's table's not happy with that, either one of you have the ability to go to the state and appeal that, or to go to the district courts and appeal that.
Okay.
Other than that, I would say that your hearing is closed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Adams. Hello.
I live on Center Street, and I am just here because
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna have you state your name in the mic so
Oh,
it's on the
I'm
record.
Angela Virginia Adams.
Okay, and now your 3 minutes will begin.
Okay, thank you. I haven't been able to make any major improvements in the last 12 months on my home, and it actually went up the value went up $57,000. I thought that was quite a spike, but, yeah. My house needs to be painted and things like that. And it's just that it's such an aberrant spike, unlike normally. And I know it's probably doing that for everyone, but that could make a lot of homeowners not be able to afford a home. So I thought I should bring it up.
Okay? Okay.
'Cause it's-
Comments?
No.
Your 3 minutes begin.
Subject property is a .14 acre parcel. It does have 1,150 square feet on the main level, 1,150 square feet in the basement, of which there's 570 square feet of finish. It was built in 1951. We're showing it it's got heating but no cooling. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions about what they just said?
No, that's correct.
Commissioners?
Yes.
You live right up above 16th Street, right?
I do, yes.
Do you live at this house?
Yes.
Okay.
Why, does it have a different name?
I thought it was a rental. I live around the corner, and I just thought this was a rental property. I'd never thought this was...
Years ago it was, yeah.
Okay. I just saw there was a homeowner's exemption on it, and I've always been under the impression that that was the rental property that was there because you have the half alley on the side of your house.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
That's how I get to my backyard. So anyway,
Oh.
I'll just tell you your land value.
Yes.
I'll trade you right now.
Is that right?
That's what I said. You're half of what my land value is, and I live 3 houses away from
Well,
it.
it's probably because I'm on a busy street. I
I'm on
would guess.
16th.
Yes, well,
All right.
yeah, it can be.
So I'm just telling you, ma'am. I literally live 3 houses down from you, and I get it. They've made they knew what I was going to say. Celeste was getting ready on the land, and I was getting ready to go there. But your land is at $38,000. I think mine is at 70 or just close to 70. We're right around the corner. They've already made an adjustment. Then it looks like for being on the busy street.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, your
That's-
improvements.
That's what I thought.
I don't see it outside of the improvements, and knowing what your neighbor to the right sold that house for this last little bit after it went through probate, and then there's another one across the street that's for sale right now. Knowing the market, I don't think you're outside of the market, and what I was gonna do to fix your value, because I knew you were on center, it's like, oh, they've already done it, so I don't see what to do there then.
Mr. Chair, on parcel RPPOC 011500, I make a motion that we uphold the assessed value due to lack of evidence in the file.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I would ask you, though, to step out with the deputy assessor, because I think she has something that can probably address your tax issue.
And let me just talk to you just
Yeah.
for a minute. So when you come to the homeowner's exemption, last year you qualified for $94,000, which takes that amount away from your overall total. This year you qualified for 122 or 123,000. So yes, you went up 57,000, but you also come back down because the homeowner's exemption fell into effect and brought you back down. So you went actually $30,000 up instead of $57,000.
Oh, okay.
So you won't notice a big jump as you go further and you receive your tax notice.
And like I said, I think if you talk to the chief deputy, that she probably has something different for you as well for the homeowner's circuit breaker exemption and other things to
Oh,
talk on.
okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita.
Powell?
We did call and speak with them. Oh, they're here. Okay, good, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have a seat. Introduce yourselves And then your 3 minutes will begin.
Glenn and Joni Powell, 2174 Colonial Lane in Pocatello, Idaho. First off, thank you for the opportunity to be here and present this. I understand the rules. I'm not here debating the mill levy or taxes or anything like that. Pretty much my sole argument is that I believe that the assessment on our home and property has been unfairly assessed and not equitable to comparables and everyone else in the neighborhood and that sort of thing. The packet that I submitted in accordance with the appeals process and the rules, you should have all that information. I apologize, it's kind of lengthy. I basically went through the public available information on the website and compared our home and taxes listed in that domain to 77 other properties in the area, and did some kind of crude rough math here. And quite simply, when it comes down to it, if you look at the spreadsheet, the very top row is our property in question, RPANS 006100. I compared it to homes next to ours, which were built in the same year. The properties on either side of us are lines 52 and 53 on the spreadsheet here. They have similar views. They're same size, built in the same year, within 200 square feet of one another. I think they're very comparable, and I'm just targeting those two to make it easy here, because obviously there's a lot of information there. But if you look at the very top row, our home, clear over on column AA at the far right-hand end, you can see that over the last 7 years, it's gone up 108% in overall value. Column S indicates that last year's assessment, it went up 98.42%, just shy of 100% increase in 1 year. And when you compare those numbers to all the others that you see here, including the two right next to us, again with similar views, et cetera, they haven't gone up as much. I compared this and was looking at the rules of, let's see, what do we call it here? The rules of conduct, or the rules for this hearing. Let me make sure I get it right. Anyway. Yeah, Board of Equalization, the rules for the hearing, it's noted on there as well as on the website and several other places that these values are determined, as stated in previous hearings here, based on appraisals, analyzation of construction costs, review of recent sales data, et cetera on here. Okay, fine. My concern or my question, and it's somewhat rhetorical, is that how is it going to cost more?
Okay, your time's up.
Sure.
I would just like to make a statement that our 2022 values have not been certified yet. So all the values that you see on our online parcel viewer are from 2021. Values have raised quite a bit in the 2021 year, and so those values will not be consistent with your assessment notice, because it is not showing what their values have come up for the 2022 year.
Your time begins.
Okay. Let's make sure I'm on the right parcel. Yes. Okay, subject property is on a .21 acre parcel. It is on the main floor, 1,310 square feet. On the upper, 884. And it does have 1,330 square feet in the basement, of which there's 1,103 square feet of finish. It was built in 1977, a split level. It does have both heating and cooling. And jumping down, comparable cell 1, all these are built in 1977 except for the last one, which is 1988. Comparable cell 1 comes in at $101 per finished square feet. Number 2, $103 per finished square feet. And number 3, $128 per finished square feet. All comparables, comparable 1 and 2 are close to subject property. Comparable 3 is a little further off. And that is all I got. Thank you.
Comments about what you just said?
Yes, first off, if I understood her correctly, I'd like to point out that I am not discussing, nor did I bring up, the 2022 assessed values. The data that I presented is all in the public domain. Whether it's certified or not, it's still apples to apples. If it's accurate, I'm still comparing apples to apples. So I'm not sure how that affects things, but the heating and cooling is not throughout. So again, that may or may not have an effect on assessment. There's areas of the home without heating and air conditioning completely. But again, my sole concern is comparing them with all the other properties in the area and similar homes. I'm simply concerned that no one else out of these 77 that I've presented to you has gone up in the same time frame, apples per apples, that mine has as much as mine has. And I don't see how, again, comparable costs for rebuilding, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay,
is-
I
Mr.
asked if you had a question, not another
Let
lecture,
me,
okay?
if,
Right here.
if I may. All right, preponderance of the evidence. So, I don't say this often, but winner, chicken dinner. You got me at, you have an argument, you have demonstrated this, and you're there, okay? So I did some quick math on rate of change of your property just over last year, rate of change. Your land, I did not do your land, I just did your improvements, because land's kind of weird right now. But you were at a 29% rate of change, where the average of what we saw in Bannock County was 24%. So if I just take 24% and then just take your land change in, that drops you down to 467, 429, which I definitely think, I don't know why yours has turned up a little higher. Last year, I look back, you've never been in here before, correct? I've never seen you in here. There's a correction in there, but that's just compared to something else. So typically what happens is we see, like, why some of these get turned up too high is because we get people that come in every single year, and what happens is they get drug all the way down into the very bottom of their thing, and it doesn't happen. But you're correct. When I do that and look at that, and you drop it down even at the 24% rate, which is what it should be, when I start looking at the neighbors and everybody else, it's at least, in that neighborhood. That drops down to $118.19 a foot. I think that puts you more comparable with the neighbors and everybody else. I don't think the 29% rate of change for your improvements is warranted or correct. So that's where I'm at.
Question?
We have an assessor recommendation that we bring the value in at $398,887 for a total value of $476,627. So I just wanted to throw that out, that correction has been made in our parcel due to the sketching.
So that wasn't sketched last year?
It was sketched last year, but he called and spoke with one of the appraisers, and we just perfected the file.
So hold on a second, then, because whenever I see spreadsheets with colors and Skittle sheets and all this stuff, it makes me want to do more math. Let's do some math for a second.
So while you're doing your math.
Cool.
As I have done throughout, in order to be consistent, I've looked at 3 different online sites, and they have a value of your house, $408,415 and $479. So if I took the median of that, that would put your market value of your house at $415,100. I also agree somewhat with Commissioner Tubby. If you did a 25%, that would be $464. So in reality, your house lies somewhere between the low of $408 and the mid of $464.
Yeah, and so what I was doing some quick math on was rate of change from sketching it, perfecting the sketch of what it would have been to what it should have been last year, and actually it would have been $7,000 higher last year than it is this year. So if you drop the $7,000 off of that, then yeah, it puts you out to $460. Because if you're saying in that rate of change, because they were at $314 and your rate of change, yeah, was about $7,000 high last year. So I'm okay with that. So
Motion?
Well,
I'll make it.
Well, here's my question. If we do what we did this morning for Mr. Smith, and I use the median on his price, then we'd go down to the 415.1.
Make motion.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that on parcel RPRPANS006100, that we adjust the value down to 415,100 with coming off the improvements.
So we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we made an adjustment. We come down to 415,100.
100.
100.
Yeah.
See, it helps to do math and be polite.
If you are unhappy with this or they're unhappy with this, both of you have the opportunity to appeal either to the state tax commission or to the district courts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And really, your spreadsheet, right now, so far, you're leading in all
I know.
300 we've had. Yours has the most.
Preponderance of evidence.
Right, that's really it. That's what we say. Bring us an opinion, bring us evidence. That's what
I
it
can
is.
follow rules. I don't always choose to do so.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day, ma'am.
Likewise.
Gil?
That's a good spreadsheet.
There was
Like,
a spreadsheet.
that was like, seriously, if that guy ever needs a second career being an appraiser, he should probably go grab that guy.
Please introduce yourself, and then your 3 minutes will begin.
My name is Ronald Gill, and my wife, Stephanie Gill, and I are joint owners of the subject property. Which is located on Pocatello Creek Road, about 5 miles beyond the freeway. Our home is a prefab manufactured in 1968. It's 54 years old. It has dented ceilings, uneven floors. Windows and doors are not square. Low ceilings and cable ceiling heat, room by room. In the rooms that have it, the front room does not have it. That doesn't function very well. Water quality and quality are huge issues in our neighborhood, and they are issues in our house in particular. I think I should say right now that our contention is that the home is overvalued because of its age and its physical condition, and it's less than premier construction. Basically, they built it at the airport, drug it out to Pocatello Creek Road and set it up.
Question, point of clarification.
Sir,
So it was a Boise Cascade house?
I believe so.
Okay, so it wasn't a manufactured house, it's a mod house.
Modular, yeah.
So it's not on a metal frame?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, that's just all I wanted to know.
It came in 2 parts, and they put it on a foundation and winched it together.
Yep. Okay.
So some of these defects could be addressed, but they would amount to spending more than that house is worth. We had a contractor out looking at cracks in the ceilings and walls, and he happens to live in the same type of house, and said that even with repairs and construction, that the cracks and separations would continue. Okay. Drought and wells in new homes, been a lot of construction in 54 years, has lowered our water table. Our well was once artesian when we bought the house 30 years ago. It no longer is. We pump water up to pressurize it in a pressure tank. I have photos, if you would entertain that.
You can describe them, but they weren't submitted with the application, so
Yes.
so we can't.
Okay.
I'm looking at your property right now on Google Earth anyway.
Oh, yeah, it stands right out. They even had my horses one time. Much of our 9.4 acres, if you look at Google Earth, the perspective doesn't really tell you how steep that ground is.
It does a pretty good job.
The soil in there is like 25 to 35% slope, stony. It's a stony loam. It is not available for
Camel
subdivision.
formation.
All right, thank you. Questions? Your 3 minutes begin.
Subject property sits on a 9.46 acre parcel. It does have 1,152 square feet on the main, 1,152 square feet in the basement, of which 576 square feet is finished. It is a split entry. We've got, the year built is 1968, and we're showing no heat, so I'm guessing it's wood burning stove, because we do have a wood burning stove in
Give me a
here.
minute.
Yes. that's-
Just a minute, and we'll come back.
Okay. And composite shingle roof, steel siding. Thank you.
Okay. Comments about what you just said?
Yes, it functionally has no heating system in it, although I think in 1 or 2 rooms, the cable ceiling still works. Well, we acquire firewood every year, and we burn that for the majority of our heat. We're also very good at sweaters and coats.
All right, thank you. Commissioners?
You know where I'm going to go right now.
Yep.
And so I'll just say, right now, I actually built the big house across the street and further up the canyon just a little bit. Sam's house goes all the way up on top of that hill.
I know the house.
And the canyon that you have there, the gentleman was not wrong when he said it is a very steep, rocky, crazy area. I actually measured out on the parcel viewer the area size of that's flat. It's about 1.8 acres, and that is, we used to ride our dirt bikes up there too, and that's gnarly. What I'd say is you still have value in the home site. Your improvements, I'll tell you, even though it was an old Boise Cascade house was drug out, your improvements probably aren't far off. But I especially that lot, knowing how steep and crazy that is, the well problems that you guys have up there, and some of that other stuff. I'm okay at the 119. I'm not okay at the 179. And that's just one of those things that this is the one spot of that canyon that if everybody grew up there, it's yeah, you're not going to do anything with it. You won't walk up it. You won't do anything. So I have no problem with keeping the improvements, the improvement change, but the land value, I'd keep it in that last year's 119 to the 130, somewhere in there.
Commissioner Huff has his calculator.
Oh, geez, he's got the calculator out. There we go. Hope for good buttons.
Well, if I apply the same methodology that we did to the last gentleman, you wouldn't be happy. So I will take Mr. Tubby's amendment or his motion and see where we go. How's that?
Yeah, like I said, improvements. I'm okay with the improvements on this. That's fine. The land on this one. Mr. Chairman, I'd move on parcel RPR 3851005800 that we keep the improvement value of $189,018, but we adjust land to $130,000.
What did you say, 119 what?
119,688 was last year's value.
Yeah, I thought you said 388.
No.
All right. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we come down
49,000.
49,000 on your land, which will take the total down. Like I've told everybody else, did we vote? We have a motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye, sorry, got ahead of myself. But, so we brought it down. If you're not happy with that, or if the assessor's table's not happy with that, either one of you have the ability to appeal.
Okay.
But other than that, I would say that this hearing is over.
You are the only one that I know that has been able to grow pine trees, though. That's why I knew where this house was. Because his trees actually grew. Everyone else's has on that side of the hill has these little dead twigs.
Well, I spent 30 years telling people they should plant trees when I worked for USDA.
Oh, there you go.
So when I moved there, I thought,
So
it's time.
the house is right there, and yeah, We used to ride our dirt, you probably got real mad at us. We'd ride our dirt bikes up over the top.
No. And just so everybody knows that we're not heartless, had we applied my methodology,
It probably would've been a lot.
the assessor was undervalued.
Yes.
Their assessed values.
Those houses especially, and that's the whole thing, sir, even though your house is an older house, there's a lot of people pay a lot of money for your house. But, like I said, the land value is what really kills me up there, just because, yeah.
I believe that's a pretty fair assessment. What, so to speak, what was that value on the property again?
We set the
please?
property at 130.
130. All righty. I'm not good at remembering numbers.
It's okay, neither am I.
Well, thank you.
Liar, liar,
Thank you.
Mr. Tubby.
All right, we have an Edna Klein.
Oh, hey, Anita?
Edna Klein?
Well, that's, I have her as a write-in,
I don't
and then I have a paper, so.
have any paper.
I do believe we do have a recommendation on that one.
Yeah, there's,
Oh, here, I'll do the motion right now. Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion on parcel RPRP8 or PTH 2001800 that we take the assessor's recommendation of $611,633.
we have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye.